Welcome to the H.E.A.L, Help, Elevate, and Learn podcast. This podcast is a guide to healing your inner child and maturing your inner adult. This is the place where we slow down, look within, and begin the journey of restoring what was lost, silenced, or forgotten. Here, we believe that healing the inner child is not about reliving the past, it's about rewriting your future. Together, we'll uncover the wisdom, the strength, and the love you've always carried inside. So take a deep breath. You're safe, you're seen, and you're right where you need to be. Hello, everybody. How you doing today? This is Saucony Prince of SauconyPrince.com, where we make motivation personal. We're introducing you to yourself. And I want to welcome you to the H.E.A.L podcast. H.E.A.L is an acronym for Help, Elevate, and Learn, and it's based on my latest book by the same title. The subtitle is It's a Guide to Healing Your Inner Child. And I'm currently working on a sequel to that, which is a guide to maturing your inner adult. And I can't wait for y'all to read that. That's going to be an amazing book. But listen, before we get started, I do want to thank our sponsors, none other than BetterHelp. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. First, you go to their site. You can use my link, BetterHelp.com/SauconyPrinceH.E.A.L. You answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you to a professional who's had years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or your computer, via a phone call, a video chat, or messaging. However you feel most comfortable, it is the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You'll be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours, so you can get started fast. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Visit BetterHelp.com/SauconyPrinceH.E.A.L. or choose Saucony Prince H.E.A.L. during your sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. And we want to thank our sponsor, BetterHelp, for being able to actually sponsor this amazing episode. And I'm telling you, I am super excited to have our guest today. He is none other than my good friend, Wendell Graham. And I'm bringing him up to the stage. Wendell, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
All right. I can hear you as well. So listen, I want you to take a moment and tell the people a little bit about who you are.
All right. My name is Wendell Graham. And I know Dr. Saucony Prince, a lot of people brag about being from Mobile, Alabama, but I really am. And I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for years, and I do some of everything. But basically, I help people take whatever it is that they're doing to the next level. I've been known as Slight Edge Consulting, but I found out that a lot of people are ready for the next level of their personal lives, their business, their relationships, whatever it is. I like to focus in on the next level results. I also realize that everybody's not ready for the next level, so it's not for everyone. So my focus is next level results. Wendell Graham from Mobile, Alabama. I'm ecstatic to be here, brother. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, man, listen, I am so happy to have you. And, one of the reasons that I had you, and it wasn't a threat, but, the last couple of podcasts I had, you were in the comments asking all these questions. I'm like, man, if we answer all those questions, we're going to be here for 2 hours. So I wanted to make...
Let me tell you why. And I don't mean to hog the mic, but let me tell you, last time I didn't realize I needed so much healing myself. And so it resonates with me. So I started unpacking a lot of the stuff that was on the inside of me. So, but at any rate, I get on your show and I learn so much. I'm so proud of what you're doing and your consistency, man, it speaks volumes. So yes, sir. Like I said, I'm really excited to be here, Doc.
Well, I am, again, grateful and thankful, to have you on, and also, again, grateful and thankful to have you as a friend.
Yes, sir.
So, man, listen, let's jump into some of these questions because I know, like I said, you had a whole lot of stuff going on in the comments. So now I'm turning the mic over to you. Wait a minute, hold on for a second. I gotta get to some of these comments because somebody just popped on there. I know but now this guy here, in fact, we were at the high school together. In fact, the friendly handling. Hey, what's going on, bro? How you doing? But this one here, I know you know who this is, Wendell.
Uh-oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. My sidekick.
Yep. Your
Yes.
sister. Now, see what's going to happen. I can predict this. I'm like the Swami. She's going to have a whole bunch of comments and
Gotta get
questions for
on.
you, and
Gotta get on.
I'm going to have her on
I,
because
I tell you,
y'all
I
know
tell
how
you what,
y'all.
I tell you what you could do. Get the both of us on at the same time. Boy, you talking
Oh,
about
now that'll be okay. All right, talking about some group therapy.
man,
That'll
what
be.
you said. What you said.
Let's see what else she had. She said, "Good evening, gentlemen, and everyone that's watching." Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
All right.
I want to encourage her. She knows everybody in the state of Alabama, all 67 counties. So I want her to send this out right now and get all of that activity. Send it out to our prayer group, send it out to our friends, and let them
Right.
know that Wendell Graham and Dr. Sakoni Prince is on the line.
All right. Yes, if you are watching, please like, share, and comment, and let us know where you're watching from because that really helps us to understand where we're making an impact and where we're making a difference. So thank you so much. All right, man. Let's hop into these questions real quick. The first question is, what does maturing your inner adult mean to you, and how has that shown up in your personal journey?
Maturing my inner adult. You know what that means to me? It means that I realize, now this is going to knock your socks off. I know it is. I realize I don't know Jack. I don't know nothing, and
Right.
that's really that's accepting your own. You think you know a lot. You think you have arrived at some point in life where you have all of this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But to know thyself, you got to know yourself and understand that I really don't know anything, and I need to be an open vessel to learn. I'm here to learn, to help, to elevate,
Mm,
and to learn. So I'm here to heal in life because a lot of times we don't know that we have a lot of trauma. We don't really know what we're carrying around like the bag lady. So that maturity, we have to walk in that maturity to understand. You know what? I have to be humble enough to know that I need help as well. I'm not that man that carries the world on my shoulder. Even if I could, I don't want to.
right. Right. Well, and that is one of the telltale signs of someone that has kind of like Les Brown said, you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know that you don't know it.
That's right.
You can humble yourself to understand that the more you know, in fact, the more you realize you don't know, that's when you become a student.
That's
A
right.
lot of people, they don't want to humble themselves and get to that place where they can learn. Uh, oh, listen. I don't know. Well, in fact, this may be a result of you asking your sister to share it out. But I know who is Lisa. Lisa. In
Oh
fact,
yeah, that's my other sister.
okay. All right.
That's
Well,
my other
good
sister.
evening,
Yes,
Lisa. Lisa.
indeed.
Thank you for tuning in. Hey, listen. Share this out so somebody else can hear your brother drop all this knowledge and
All
all this.
67, all 67 counties. Send it out. She's one of the baddest school teachers in the state of Alabama. I kid you not. She is an amazing school teacher, and she knows everybody. And she gonna
She
get
know
me for saying
everybody.
everybody. Yeah, she gonna get me for saying that because she corrects grammar sometimes. So, but she is an amazing sister, along with my sister Bridget.
Yeah. And she says, "Hey, brother." So,
Hey sister. Hey
and now
sister.
she's laughing at you. Oh
Yes,
man.
indeed.
Oh man. Yeah.
Hey,
So
I want to see some hearts too, but get into your question. I like when they send those hearts up. So send those
okay.
hearts up. Make me feel good.
All right. So our next question says, many of us carry unhealed parts of our childhood. What are some signs that your inner child is still in control of your decision making?
Still in control of your denial, not just a river in Egypt. A lot of times we are in denial. Man, listen, it's
Right.
just as clear as the nose on your face that you are wrong. You're going in the wrong direction. You're saying the wrong things. You're at the wrong job. You're in the wrong relationship. You're just wrong, but you're in denial and you're trying to fix it. A lot of people try to fix everything with gorilla tape and gorilla glue. They trying to put gorilla tape and gorilla glue on relationships, on boats, on jobs. They say, you know what? One more day. You know what? I'm gonna go in this job just one more day before I snap. I'm gonna go in the house. I'm gonna sit in the parking lot and play track after track after track before I go in this house because I believe that this is my gorilla glue for this relationship. This is my gorilla glue for this job, and we just tolerate these things. But sometimes you have to realize that this is the wrong size shoe. You wearing a size 9, you got a 12 and a half, but you wearing an 8 in girls. No.
Wow.
I said an 8 in girls. That's tight. That's tight. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So denial.
Yeah.
That is the number one thing in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Sakani, I know you got your questions lined up, but let me say
No. Go ahead. Take your time.
Last time I was on your show, I was a little arrogant. I apologize. I want to get that out. I was a little bit arrogant. After the podcast, life hit me, caught me from the blind side. You know what? And unfortunately, I didn't have springs in my hind part, so I stayed down there for a little while. But life caught me on the blind side. Sometimes when you get hit on the blind side, you got to bounce right back up. But life will humble you, and I didn't think much about healing. I'm macho. I don't think a man needs to heal. What we need to heal from? When we got hurt on the football field, what did they tell us to do? What did they tell us?
Walk it off?
Yeah, not walk it out. That's a song. That's a dance. But I'm talking about to walk it off. That's what we do as men. Hey, man, walk it off, man. Toughen up, man. Lift that chin. I don't know. Can you tell me in this podcast what hold your chin up, hold your head up supposed to do? They didn't do nothing for me. That meant that my head was held up and I was still hurting. So life will humble you, man. And since the last podcast, I've had multiple eye-opening experiences, and I understand that every one of us needs to heal in some respect or another. Help, elevate, and learn.
Right. Well, since you mentioned it, do you want to share any of those experiences?
No.
Get your own lesson.
Let's just say this. We're living in a very, very interesting time in life where jobs are no longer secure. We're living in a very, very interesting time in life where we don't know what tomorrow is going to hold. And so many of us became comfortable in our lives. And I'm not skirting around your question, but I'm just building a foundation here to answer it, is that many of us have built our lives based upon our livelihood. But what about when the rug gets snatched from under you? What about when you have more responsibilities than you do money? Then what you do is you start trying to make some concessions. You start trying to adapt to your environment. And so some of those very things happened to me: a change of job, change of relationship, change of status. Before, when I was on here, I was slight edge, Wendell Graham slight edge. But you see, I done elevated to next level results because I had to be my own client. I had to work on myself. Let me say this to you, brother. We're going to get to those questions. I was stagnated. I didn't realize it. You see, I labeled myself as a helper. And I used to tell people this all the time. You better not do it now. But I used to tell people this all the time. You can call me at 2:00 in the morning and Wendell Graham would answer. Sakani, Dr. Sakani Prince, do you know some people would call me at 2:00 in the morning with their business ideas, them pipe dreams that they had, and they want to talk literally. But I put myself out there. So I had to have some healthy boundaries, and I had to also have a work-life balance in my life because I could be overworked and underpaid.
Right. Well, and even as you shared that, that shows that dynamics are between our inner child and our inner adult, because our inner child is like, I'm ready to go. No matter the daytime, let's just go. But then an adult knows that there has to be a level of accountability associated with that. So yeah, calling me at 2:00 in the morning, all you're gonna get is a voicemail.
Exactly.
Because I am not answering. But so this next question it says, how can someone begin to recognize the difference between reacting from their inner child and responding from their mature adult self?
Reacting and responding. I like those two words. You're driving down the street and a fly is in your automobile, right? And or a bumblebee is in your automobile. Now you understand the danger of a bumblebee and it's in your automobile, but you react, a knee-jerk react. You twist the wheel as hard as you can, and your car goes off the road, and hopefully you're not hurt. But responding, understanding how to respond, you do it in a calm, methodical way. You go through the steps. You realize that you have some situational awareness about the situation and that you need to calmly pull over to the side of the road and make sure that you don't harm yourself or you don't harm others. I think a lot of times we need to take an evaluation of our own situation of where we are in life. Some of us are very overwhelmed. Some of us are where we don't know where to turn. We don't know how we're going to get out of these situations and what we're going to do. And what we're doing is we're reacting. But what reacting does, instead of responding, reacting will keep you jumping from thing to thing and never seeing those results. You never see the results because you're just reacting. This jumps up, so you react to that. That jumps up, and then you react to that. Responding says, you know what? I'm going to evaluate. I'm going to inspect what I expect. I'm going to evaluate what I'm doing wrong. Let me take a closer look at this because I might be responsible for some of this chaos that continuously show up in my life. I tell people all the time, participate in your own rescue if you can. But if not, you need to ask somebody to throw you a life jacket, a life vest, one of those tubes, throw a rope or something. And
a pool noodle, huh?
Throw a brother a bone, do something, But sometimes, Doc, reacting will keep you in tumultuous, broken down. I don't care if it's a job. I don't care if it's a relationship. I don't care if it's dealing with your kids. Just reacting. Our children will have emergencies and we react. We clean out. I know you've done this many times like I did. Just wipe out the whole savings account just to take care of the kids. I know you've done it.
Yep.
Yes,
now you're triggering me, man.
Okay.
What's going on?
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I don't mean to trigger you.
Oh man, we got your sister say, let's go Wendell Graham. I think your brother-in-law said, good to see you, brother. Who else we got? In fact, your sister's back on here. Be honest with yourself, that's for sure. I don't know what you mean about too small. Probably something that you mentioned earlier about playing too small.
That's right. That's right.
Come on now.
She's speaking my language. She's about to trigger me. Too small. Playing too small.
Oh yeah. God's got healing hands. Let's see what Eugene said. Expect who you are and where you're not. Okay. And Bridget came back and said, stop being reactive and be proactive.
Yeah, I like it. She's gonna be on the show. I see what them
What's the rope-a-dope style?
Rope-a-dope. Muhammad Ali. Hey, sometimes you gotta fight off the ropes. You gotta see. She took that from my mama. See her. Well, anyway, her and my mama, they used to fight. My mama had the rope-a-dope style. My mama used to be on the rope, and so Bridget used to get beat every single time with that rope-a-dope style. But go ahead, Doc.
All right. The next question says, in your experience, what role does forgiveness of self and others play in the healing and maturing process?
Okay. I ain't gonna miss my opportunity to be one of the realest brothers in the world now. I ain't gonna miss that. I will get to forgiveness in just a second, but let me just say this, what God has done in my life, because I have been guilty of not acknowledging what God has done time and time and time again. You've heard me talk from the stage about what's happened in these close calls that I had, and I escaped death this time, and I escaped death that. I mean, I'm like MacGyver, in and out of many situations like MacGyver, but God got me out of those situations. I can take no credit. I give all praises due to God for his intervention in my life and letting me realize that I don't have no strength of my own, that God, that if it's going to happen, it's up to God. He's going to turn these things around. So forgiveness. All right. This is what I found out about forgiveness. You have to forgive. It is of the utmost importance. It's not for them. It's for you. You can't be free until you forgive. You have resentment against your mother. You got resentment against your father. You got resentment against your kids or whoever it is. You have to release yourself from them because you are in bondage. You cannot move forward until you forgive and allow yourself to heal, help, elevate, and learn. You have to forgive and be released. I'm plugging. That's all I'm doing. I'm just plugging. But you have to forgive, because sometimes you don't realize that the resentment that you have and these old antiquated stories that you telling about what happened back in 1972 when somebody took your seat on the bus or whatever the case may be, or somebody cooked a potato salad that didn't taste right, and you holding some resentment over some antique story that happened years and years ago. Let that mess go. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't participate in soothsayers or warlocks, but I do know this, that nobody can determine the future. Nobody knows what tomorrow holds. You holding on to just resentment and wonder why you got upset stomach and that your hair falling out and that you holding too much in. Let it go and let God. Let go and let God. He'll take care of all that mess. He'll take care of it.
That's true. Obviously, perfect, Lisa. Perfect, you got her laughing because she LOLing over there. She laughing out loud. Oh man, listen. So our next question says, what particular daily habits or practices help to nurture both the healing of the inner child and strengthening of the inner adult?
Healing of the inner child. Let's go with prayer. I take prayer for 1,000, Alex. See, prayer. Hey, Jeopardy, baby. Prayer.
Right.
That's what it all boils down to, man. I can't get away from it. I gotta go back to what worked. I done tried everything, man. But they say try God. But let's keep it in the spiritual and in the natural, because I don't think God is physically gonna put on a pair of boots and a pair of jeans, come down here and take care of your issues personally. You gotta be responsible for doing it yourself. So I think that prayer works. Yes, it does if you work prayer. But I also know that you have to take responsibility for your own situation, and you have to go out and seek the help that you need in order to get where it is that you want to get. See, a lot of times we don't know where we want to go. That's what coaching is all about. That's what next level results are all about. Where is it that you want to go? I have been guilty. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. I have been guilty of trying to take people. They call that kidnapping, I think. But anyway, I have been guilty of trying to take people where they didn't want to go. I saw it in them, but they didn't see it in themselves. So what I did by pistol point, I put you in the car and tried to take you to Success Lane and over the top alley, when you said, you know what, I was just talking out loud. I wasn't trying to do all of that. You have to listen to people, and you have to find out where it is that they're trying to go. Don't try to take people places that they're not trying to go.
Right. That is so true. Let's see. In fact, Eugene had a point here. It says, anything planted and forgiveness will be.
I could translate that. Yeah, anything planted in forgiveness will never dwell in the past. I got you, brother. I speak Eugene. I speak it. He was saying anything planted in forgiveness.
In forgiveness.
Never dwell in the past. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That next question here is from my wife. She says, "Don't hold hurt hostage."
That's right. Oh,
yeah,
that's powerful. Yes.
And she's actually. I did a message several years ago in reference to that, about holding hurt hostage, and I talked about Joseph in the Old Testament and his brothers. They were holding on, in fact, to what they did to him, and they even tried to tell him that, when Dad was alive, he told us he wanted you to forgive us for the stuff we did. And Joseph was like, Dad could have told me that while he was here, but he didn't say nothing. But once he died, the brother was like, man, ain't nobody holding him back. He can do with us what he's already in a position of authority. He can do with us what he wants to. So we need to go and tell him, say, hey, Dad told you to be nice to us. And Joseph's like, look, I know they didn't come from Dad. I came from your own guilt.
Right.
Because they were holding on to that hurt. And so that's where she got that from.
Exactly. Holding hurt hostage. I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Well, in
Yes,
fact,
sir.
Eugene said, a heart that's planted in forgiveness will never live in the past. So I guess he came back, he
Fix it up.
reworded it.
Yeah.
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 That's okay.
In fact, Bridget said, he had me by the neck.
Yeah. The devil. The
Okay,
devil.
okay.
No, not the devil. The devil. That's what she's trying to say. The devil had about it. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So
We
call
need
it
to get some subtitles on here, some closed captioning.
a bouncing ball. That's what it is. The bouncing
Oh
balls.
man.
Hey
Oh
man.
man.
Hey, listen. Go ahead. Go ahead with your next question,
No, no,
brother.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I appreciate my family, supporting me and jumping in there, and and commenting, because it makes it that much more interesting. But what I want to say, man, is that a lot of times in life, the thing that we need. I went to the doctor, and my muscles was cramping up. Well, which ones I have left, but my muscles were cramping up, and the doctor told me that I needed some potassium. And I said, okay. He said, well, eat a banana. And I was like, oh, what? He's like, yeah, potassium is in a banana, right? And I was like, okay. And I said, but what if I don't believe that the potassium is in a banana? He said, doesn't matter. It's going to work anyway, right? And said, all you got to do is eat it. All you got to do is eat it. That's how the word of God is, right? You don't have to believe in it. All you got to do is read it and let it get on the inside of you, and it'll start changing you. See, that's the change that's happened in me. I don't believe that potassium is in banana, but I eat the banana, muscles stop hurting. I don't believe that vitamin C is in an orange, but I eat the orange, and my immune system is stronger, and so forth and so on with an apple. What's on the inside of that thing is the nutrients that you need in order to sustain life. And see, God is on the inside of the word. You eat the word, you ingest in God, and then people can see it in you. Now, it could take Stevie Wonder with Ray Charles glasses to see that I'm not the same person. And I take no credit for it. I ain't the same person. I thank God for it. Go ahead, brother.
Right. Well, if your sister came in and said, y'all get off my husband. So.
Well, let me tell you about what he's typing. Never mind.
We just messing, Bridget.
He's driving and talking to his phone. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Gotcha. Hey man, listen, we got two more questions, but I actually have some more. In fact, some more commercials I want to share. And like I said, I am currently writing, in fact, the secret to my current book. So here's a commercial for that one right now.
You've taken the first step. You've learned to heal. Now it's time to go deeper. The journey to maturity doesn't stop with awareness. It grows with action. In this powerful sequel to H.E.A.L, you'll uncover new strategies to elevate your mindset, strengthen your emotional resilience, and step fully into the adult you were always meant to be. This is more than a book. It's a blueprint for transformation. Are you ready to rise? The next chapter of your growth starts now. Available soon on Amazon.
Yes, that is going to be my sequel coming up to this, coming up in January. Well, I say January. It's first quarter of 2026 is going to be out, and I'm actually going to have an event centered around it. I'm working on it now. I'm in the works to put that together, and my goal is to have it in Atlanta, Georgia. I haven't nailed down the date. I've been in talks with a couple of places right now, but once I get that done, believe me, y'all are going to hear about it here. The next commercial I want to actually share with you is from none other than my coach, Dr. Ruben West. And I went with him to Nairobi, Kenya back in 2023, and phenomenal time. But here is just some of the clips from when he went this year. Check this out. Do you ever consider going to Africa? And especially, I would recommend, highly recommend, getting in contact with either me or getting in contact with Dr. West. If you get in contact with me, I'm going to get you in contact with him because it's his event, and I'm telling you, it's life changing. I just, that's all I can say. You never realize what you have until you go someplace and you don't have what you have. Like the old saying goes, you never miss your water till your well run dry. And so, if you're interested in that, please reach out to me, DM me, or you can just search for him. In fact, Ruben West, you can get in contact with him. But I'm telling you, it is well worth, you owe it to yourself if you can. And that's why I wanted to start showing it now, because it gives you a chance to make the decision, to contact and find out everything that you need in order to go and make that happen. So just wanted to share that with you. Thank Dr. West for also sponsoring this podcast as well. So we have two other questions, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Last question, or the second to the last question, is can you share a personal breakthrough moment when you realized that you were no longer controlled by past wounds, but guided by maturity?
A personal story about where I was no longer controlled by past wounds.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
But
still
guided by maturity.
yeah. That's a very good and insightful question, and it shows that you've done your homework to be able to even be able to ask that question. That is a very deep and introspective question that you'd have to look into within yourself. And I think we're all, to some extent, they're camouflaged and they're covered up, and you don't realize it. You don't realize that you're being controlled by these things. You say, "Oh, that's just the way that I am." You know, an outburst or a withdrawal. You say, you see, if you ever talk to a person who's quiet and withdrawn, they don't talk much. You think that that's their personality, but what you don't maybe realize is that there may have been some trauma that affected them as a child that caused them to withdraw, and they're not as open and forthcoming with their information because they learn at an early age that sharing too much equals pain, because they may have been punished for sharing too much. And so I think that in my own life that I take a look at this behavior. Is it serving me or is it hurting me? You know, for an example, I'll give you an example, right? You remember this phone? You've seen this phone. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that phone? Look at it. Look at it.
Yeah, I see
It's
it.
old. I taped it up. It's old, and I taped it up. And some, it's not working. It's outdated. It's old. I shared the video today on Facebook. But sometimes what we do is when this phone gets old, what we do is we go and get a brand new one just like it. We're going to get another phone just like it. And then we got an old phone that didn't work, and then we got a new phone that didn't work. When are we going to start trying something new and upgrading and updating what it is that we're doing? We got to try. If you want to get something different, you got to try something different. And so a lot of times when we're in these, when things aren't working for us, we say that's just the way that I am. No, it's not just the way that you are. It's hurting you. And you need to go and get some type of help, some type of counseling, some type of coaching, mentoring to find out where these triggers are coming from and these unresolved. Saccone, I'll say this and wrap it up. Dr. Saccone, I realized that the behaviors that I witness in other people, they stem from someone else. Even myself, I was a rescuer. We become as adults what we wish we had as children.
Say that again.
Okay, I can. We become as adults what we wish we had as children. So what we do is we put a cape on, an S on our chest, and we start going around saving everybody else. And then what people are asking, is just between me and you now. I'm talking about the wives and the family. They'll say, you know what? If you're so good at doing this, why don't you do it for yourself? Why don't you save yourself? If you're so good at saving people and helping people and doing all of these things for yourself, why don't you do it for you? Why don't you do it for you? It's simply because we become what we wish we had as children, as young people, and we don't even know that we're doing it. So it's a whole lot to that, and it's so much to unpackage, because a person who's usually a fixer, they grew up with a parent who was uneasy, unstable. So what they became was hypersensitive to all the things that were wrong in the room because the parent came in and they didn't know how that parent was going to respond. So they became hypersensitive to what was wrong, and they knew how to fix it before she or he snapped. So they start fixing stuff because they don't know if the garbage not taken out was going to make them snap. They didn't know if the TV was too loud or too low, or if it was too hot or too cold or too something. So they started fixing it. So as an adult, you can immediately identify what's broken in another person, and you can immediately go in and start fixing it without any form of compensation or reward. You're just going around fixing people because that's what you wish you had.
Right. Well, your sister said, "Hey, you got this question, brother." Lisa says, "Speak on it." She came back and also said, "You got to try something different." Amen to
Amen.
that. Bridget came back and said, "You talking to me?"
That's right.
And then
Yeah.
Lisa came back and said, "Wow, we become as adults as we wish we had as children." And that is so true. That's
Yeah.
so true because and my therapist helped me to understand that even with myself, I was trying to give my children what I didn't have growing up.
That's
Now,
right.
the thing about that is, okay, is that a bad thing? Well, it becomes a bad thing if I am enabling them instead of allowing them a chance to experience life at a level that they're going to learn. If I'm always rescuing them, like you were talking about earlier, if I'm cleaning out my savings account, just to meet a need, that never gives them an opportunity to develop those muscles that are needed for them to fly on their own. And I will never forget hearing this story about this doctor or scientist. He found two butterfly cocoons that looked to be about the same age, like when they were formed. And he gently cut the branches and brought them both back to his lab. One of them, he took a scalpel and he made a gentle slit in the cocoon to help the butterfly be able to come out. And as time went on, the one that had the slit in it, it eventually came out early, but because the slit was there, it was easier. It was able to break out of the cocoon and it was able to get out. But when it got out, it didn't have any strength and it fell. It walked around the bottom of the cage like the caterpillar did and eventually wound up dying because it couldn't fly. The one he didn't help, because he had to force his way out of the cocoon, because he had to use the muscles that was needed to break out of that hard shell that it had created around himself, that that struggle made it stronger.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that was the message. The struggle makes us stronger. Without the assistance, without the help, the butterfly that was in the cocoon that went in as a caterpillar came out as a butterfly, but it was stronger because it went through that process of having
Mm-hmm.
to out of that difficult situation. And the lesson for us today is, I think so many of us, we want to run away from hard stuff, not knowing that that's where our lesson is. That's where our growth is. That's where our maturity is. The child in us wants to run away. But the inner adult says, okay, I need to go through this because going through this, I'm going to learn some stuff. I'm also going to be better at some stuff. I'm also going to be able to help some people out of this. And so that I believe should be our driving force, because if we don't, just like that other butterfly, the one that had the assistance, we're not equipped to live the life that we intended to live or were built to live.
Exactly. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
that's a very good. That's a very good story. And I think even to that point, the one butterfly who was allowed to struggle, he makes a
Hmm.
little hole, right? And that little
Right.
hole, he squeezes through, and the fluid that's on the inside of that butterfly goes all throughout its wings, allowing its wings to spread. But if he doesn't go through that process, his wings will not be filled with that fluid and allow him to fly off. Yes, sir. Very,
Okay.
very
All right.
interesting. Yes, sir.
I done
Yes, sir.
learned something else. Okay. All right, Doc.
Yeah, no, that's very, very good story. A very, very interesting point.
So
Yes, sir.
so true. All
Yes.
right, our last question here says, what encouragement would you give to someone who feels stuck in old patterns and unsure if real healing is possible for them?
Okay, so one of the biggest enemies is isolation, right? So
Mm,
sometimes what we do is we isolate ourselves. We say that we start using all kind of terms. People are energy vampires, and I got to protect my energy, which is true. You actually absolutely must protect your energy. But who is your community? Who are some of the
mm,
people that you associate with? Your trusted advisors. Who are the people that love you and that can tell you the hard truth? Tell it
right.
with love. And who are those people that can see the difference in you, whether it's growth or whether it's a decline, whether you're taking care of yourself, whether it's, can anybody nowadays tell you that you're putting on a little too much weight before you go into a mental breakdown and something happens? Sometimes we need. I know back in the old days, grandmama and them said, "Baby, you get a little portly. You get a little portly, baby." Oh, grandma, portly? What you mean portly, grandma? She said you need to push back from the table a little bit. You can't do that now. You need some people around you that's gonna keep it real. That's gonna
Mm,
keep it 100, $1.50, as they say out in the streets. I don't know nothing about all that, but you need some people that's around you that's gonna tell you how it TIZ. And what we do is that when we get our feelings hurt, we start to retreat. We go back into our corners, and then we start going into a decline. Doc, I want to give an honorable mention to brother Eugene Leverett for next level results. If I can
okay.
plug this in real quick, I was talking to my brother on the phone the other night, not too long ago, and we got to talking, and we started talking about slight edge and things of that nature. And he said, "You know what, brother?" He said, "You have never been a kind of a slight edge kind of guy. You have always been a next level results kind of guy." And I realized that my thinking, I can use the analogy real quick of two wires. One is a heavy
Hmm.
gauge wire, really big wire, and one is a smaller wire, like you would plug a lamp in. Just imagine the one above your head that runs from building to building for electricity for your home, and the one
Right.
that's in your home. One carries a lot of current, one carries very little current. So the current that's traveling through, the currency that travels through that exchange, what it does is it's a lot of energy. And what I come with is a lot of energy. God has blessed me with ideas, with foresight. He has blessed me with the ability to see those things that aren't there, and to kind of go a little bit farther ahead of you. And I thank God for my brother Eugene Lever for pointing that out, because it opened something up on the inside of me to say, you know what, God? I have been underselling myself. I have been undercutting myself. I said, you know what, God? I said, I think I'm onto something, God. I think it's time for me to step out on faith and allow the world to see what I'm actually made of. I'm not going to hide my light up under a bushel basket, but I'm going to sit it upon a hill that all men may see. The Bible said, what man? What manner of man? So what kind of man? The Bible was saying, hey, what kind of man that'll take his gifts and talents and his abilities and just hide them to himself? He said, get out there. Let people see. Let people experience what I have done for you and give me the glory. And I'll give you the rest. I don't care if it's beans and bologna. I don't care if it's beans and bologna. Give it to me, God. I'll take it.
All
But
right.
but I
Well,
but I want more. I want more than beans and bologna. I'm just saying.
well, Eugene said, "If you never find the new you being content with the old you,"
Thank you, brother.
and
Thank
and
you.
that is so true. And it's not that we're grateful for where we are and what we have, but the reality is there's more in us than we're putting out. And if we get settled in settling,
Right.
we will never be able to reach that potential. If you can't tell me that you're at the pinnacle of what you believe God would have for you to do, then
That's
that
right.
means you have more work to do. I mean,
That's
just
more
point
work.
blank, period.
More work.
There's no way around it. And one of the reasons why I'm doing, in fact, what I'm doing is because, and I've shared this time and time again, the scripture said, to whom much is given, much is required. And a lot of people really haven't taken the time to understand what they've been given. And because of that, they don't see the requirements of it. And Uncle Ben told Peter Parker, which is Spider-Man, he told him like this. He said, with great power comes great responsibility. And if you don't realize the power that you have, you won't see the responsibility associated with it. So you won't do anything.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why my
Hey,
goal.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanted to say this, man. Quit blaming other people. That's what I really wanted to. You know, responsibility, accountability is like kryptonite. You kind of triggered at him. Accountability is like kryptonite to a lot of people. We want to talk about what the other person did, how they didn't meet your needs, how they didn't measure up, how they neglected you, how they avoided this, how they did that. What is your participation in it? Quit blaming other people and take accountability for your own self. You know, if you put more in, you'll get more out. I think that once I started taking accountability for my own self, saying, you know what, I did this, but I didn't do that. I know I didn't do that. You know, because sometimes you got to take a consensus. A person to try to put something on you that ain't you. But right. By popular opinion, they'll tell you that you. Have you ever heard somebody say you always, or you don't never? Really? Right. Always? I don't never. Right. Sometimes you have to take a consensus. You say, ask a couple of those trusted advisors that we talked about. Do I always do this, or do I never do that? And then right. You match it up to see if there's where the truth lies. Because if you're getting your information from one source, that person may be delusional. Don't rely on that one source. You better vet it. The Bible says that seek not the counsel of the ungodly. You might be getting some ungodly counsel from somebody that's telling you that you don't never do this and you always do that. Really? But 99 people over here, I got 99 problems, but this ain't one. 90 out of 99 people, you're the only person that say, I always do this. And then you believe that counsel. The Bible says, seek not the counsel of the ungodly. Get you some godly counsel. But first of all, take accountability for your own self. You're delusional a lot of times because we don't look at ourselves and we don't take responsibility for our own participation in why things don't work. Every job you go to, they run you off the job. Really? And every boss, they done got together. 10 jobs and got together in a big huddle to team up against you. The devil is a liar. No, they didn't. You don't have the skill set, conflict resolution. You don't know how to work as a team. You gossip. You around the water cooler talking about the boss's shoes and how Miss Mary wig don't fit. You doing all of this and it gets back. You think that you talking to a person in confidence, and what they do is say, hey, you know, Graham said something about your wig over there, and now you done made an enemy on the job. You do that every job. Take accountability and for things that's going wrong. And if a pattern, this is my dismount. If that pattern keeps showing up over and over and over again, guess what? It's you. Don't say everybody's teaming up against you. It's you. That's what I want to say.
Wow. Well, we got some more comments here. In fact, Eugene says, I like that, Doc. Dr. LaDon, she says that part. Miss Lisa says, not the shoes. I don't know what that was referencing, but maybe something you said.
Yeah, not the shoes. Yeah, not the shoes. Everybody, you talk about the run over shoes, people wearing the wig that don't fit all the way down, and you tell everybody on the job about it, and it gets back, and that person fired. They're giving you write up after write up, and you don't know why. You've been running your mouth. Shut up. Excuse me. I don't mean shut up, but be quiet on the job.
Well, you mentioned about patterns. That is, to me, that's a huge part of identifying areas that need attention. If they keep happening, if they are repetitive, and like I told someone else the other day, what happened to you may not have been your fault, but it's your responsibility. What happened to you may not have been your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. If there's a pattern of you reacting, if there's a pattern of you being triggered, if there's a pattern of you having a certain action towards a traumatic experience, that points to, okay, there's something deeper here, and something needs to be looked at. And I can tell you, And so this is another reason why I want to have a podcast, because like I've oftentimes said, I'm not here to end the conversation. I just want to start it, because a lot of us are going through life and we don't realize that what we're dealing with is something that was seeded in our childhood. And if we can understand that, if we can address that and get help with that, we can live a better life, a more fulfilled life, and we can then become an example to somebody else. But if they see us harboring our behavior that's not serving us, then what that does is that says it's okay to do that. But if they see us working on ourselves, if they see us maturing in certain areas, if they see us changing our behavior intentionally, because it doesn't happen without intention, then if they see us doing that, it gives them permission to do the same.
That's right. That's right. And the thing that you just said, I love, is that give you permission to do the same. Do you know how many people think that Saucony Prince is perfect? You know, your children. No, no, listen, your children grow up with you as their superhero, right? Never do anything wrong. Whatever the case, I know in a lot of instances we deify people and they don't know to what extent we have the flaws. But when they see us working on ourselves, my daughter said something that was so profound today. She said when she became to the stage where I was no longer just daddy, but I was daddy and her best friend. Oh boy, that just melted my heart. She said we could have conversations on a different level, on a whole new level. She said, Daddy, you can see things the way she used the word cognition, you know, the way that she thought, the way that she processed the information. You didn't freeze up on me, did you, Doc? Oh,
No, no,
okay.
no, I'm here. I'm
Yeah,
here.
but yeah, so that conversation let me know that she sees her daddy evolving, and she sees
Mm-hmm.
me grow, and she sees that I'm maturing and matriculated. This is nothing more than a classroom. Don't get stuck in the second grade, y'all. Allow yourself to go to the third grade. Some of us have been in the second grade our whole lives. We walking around acting like grown kids, not taking responsibility for everything, anything, and blaming everybody for everything. Sometimes we have to just own up, man up, put on our big boy and big girl britches, and get out here in life and say, you know what? If it's going to happen, it's going to be up to me. Nobody's responsible for your own, own success. You got to be responsible. Don't let me work harder for your success and you willing to work for yourself. I ain't gonna do it no more. I promise you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. But Brother Eugene gave me a questionnaire, 3 questions. I'm not gonna read them right now, to disqualify a person from being on the next level results team. 3 questions. I'm not gonna work for you harder than you working for yourself. Maybe you're not ready to go to the next level. Stay right there. I'm comfortable with it. I'm not gonna
Right.
force you out of your comfort zone. You got to do that,
Right.
because the minute I do, you're gonna blame me for the extra work and the success that you didn't ask for. I was comfortable doing what I was doing over there. So, you okay, Doc? You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Fine. Well, you remember earlier I told you there was a
I don't know what's
fly
going
here.
on. I'm
There's
confused
a
now.
fly
I'm
here,
sorry.
man, and it is getting on my nerve. But that's a whole other story. Let me,
Okay, go
let me check
ahead.
out some of these comments. So my
Yeah.
wife says, "You are the problem."
Yes,
Okay.
I
All
am.
right. All right. In fact, Eugene says, "When
Is
you
that
sell
personal?
your, hey, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. But Eugene said, in fact, when you sell yourself, you are guaranteed to make money. Okay.
That's right.
All
That's
right.
right.
Bridget came back and said, patterns will keep you stuck. And you have to identify and change the
That's
patterns.
right. Yes.
So my wife came back and said, we are in the present, but still living in the past.
Ooh, powerful,
All right.
powerful.
Dr.
Yeah.
LaDanya says, speak, Dr. Wendell, truth.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Bridget says, speak the truth.
Yes.
Dr. LaDanya came back and said, nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Hey,
That's my interest song.
yes, sir.
That's what I come out to. So yeah, we definitely have to take a level of personal accountability, because honestly, without that, there's no way that we're going to get the help we need, because we're always pointing the finger at someone else, and we're always looking to someone else and at someone else for the cause of our situation. But we have to be able to look to ourselves and to God for the help that we need in order to get out of this situation.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna share this, and then we're gonna, in fact, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Several months ago, there was a tree that fell on the house behind our house. I mean, actually, when we walked out our back door, we could see the tree on the roof of the house. And I remember sharing with somebody. I said, you know, that tree fell on our house. It's not the tree's job to fix the hole in the house. It's actually whoever owns the house. They are responsible. They could stand there for 10 years, 20 years, and say the tree fell on the roof, the tree fell on the roof. The tree's not going to fix the roof. The person that owns the house is responsible for fixing the roof. And so we oftentimes point to what happened to us as a reason as to why we are the way we are. Okay, they got the tree off the house, but they still didn't fix the hole. The situation that you were in, you may be out of it. That person may be dead and gone, but that still doesn't fix the hole. That fixing of the hole is on you. Again, it may not be your fault, but it's your responsibility. What happened to you may not be your fault, but your healing, your maturing, that's on you. Yeah. With that being said, man, listen, we are going to call it a night. We got one other question.
Can I tell people how to get in touch with me?
Of course. Hey, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was getting ready to say that. But Bridget, you know, she popped up with another question. Said, I graduated from the 2nd grade. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all family is too funny. Man. Y'all are too funny.
Sir. Hey, we got it honestly, man. We come from a family of lighthearted people. But let me tell the people so you can go ahead and wrap up the podcast.
Yes. Tell the people how to get in contact with you.
You can't. And I mean, let me tell you why. You can't get in touch with me. You know, before I used to rattle off a website and an email and a phone number, but right now you can't. I'm restructuring. I'm building. God doing is a new thing in my life. And so when you see me pop out this time, you're going to see me pop out because I got some backing this time. You know, I was trying to do it on my own. I was working off of my own strength. And see, we get weak and we get tired, but God never gets tired and he never sleeps. And so the next time you see me come out, now, if you want to get in touch with me, inbox me in Facebook. That's probably the only way you go. I ain't put no phone numbers out there, but inbox me, send me a message directly because I want to be able to monitor that. This is what I know, Doc. The people that get in contact with me, they have been praying for something. They have been praying for a change. This is very delicate. God directs those type of people to me that's really ready to take their lives to the next level. So I will not be irresponsible with the time that I have left. And I want to take care of God's people the way that God is taking care of me. So if you want to reach out to me, it's Wendell Graham, Facebook. Go to Facebook, go to Slight Edge, send me a message, tie a message to a pigeon's foot, throw it out the window. Send me a message through Messenger on Facebook, and I guarantee you I'll get into. Listen, this is what I wanted to say. Take one person. Listen, don't worry about the crowd. Don't worry about the group. Just get you one person and take care of that person so well, that client so well, that they'll preach the gospel according to Saucony Prince. Just take care of one person. Just take care of one person. If you got 2 clients, make them the best clients in the world, that they'll go out and they'll tell everybody about the goodness of what you're doing. So I thank you so much for allowing me to be on your podcast. It has been a pleasure, my brother.
Man, as always, I appreciate you. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for your wisdom. And most importantly, thank you for your friendship.
Yes, sir.
Well, listen, I'm getting ready to close this out. I think we got a couple of other ones. Well, I think your sister, she said, fix your own hole.
That's right.
In fact, my wife said, okay, Bridget. All right. Next up, Bridget said, I guess you mean look at God.
Look at God. Look at God. Yeah, that's Eugene's wife.
Okay, all right. And the last one, well, she came back and she corrected it.
She fixed it. God will fix it.
Yeah, he'll fix it. God will fix it.
Oh, yeah. He's a
regulator. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, Wendell, for being on the show. And of course, I got to end with my scissor reel, but we'll see you in the next episode.
I got to take this call, man. Let me see. Hey, how y'all doing? Yeah. All right, brother.
Well, my name is Saucony Prince of SauconyPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. I'm a motivational speaker, a trainer, and a coach. I'm also an author. I help people in the area of personal development and leadership development, because I believe that you can't lead others until you learn how to lead yourself. But once you learn how to lead yourself, the next logical step is that you lead other people.
Sikon Prince is the best keynote I've ever seen.
He really encouraged me so much.
He has this ability of seeing in people what they don't see in themselves.
He was so confident. When he was coming to the stage, you could see like, wow, this is a lion.
Any actor that's going for a role, they do a case study. If I'm going to be a fry cook, I go to a restaurant and watch people that are fry cooks. If I'm going to be a mob boss, I go and, well, maybe not go to with a mob, but you take some notes as to what they do. Our children are watching us. What can they reference when they step into our shoes?
I do what I do because I believe that people have truly yet to understand their purpose. Once you know who you are, nothing can stop you. But until you know who you are, anything can. So my goal is to really help people to understand their purpose and their calling. And oftentimes they have the answers themselves, but they're not asking the right questions. So I help people to get to that place to where they look at themselves. They step back and they see how they've been a help to those around them and what really drives them. And from that, they really understand the value of it. They learn to value their value and see what value their value brings. Because a lot of people, they have yet to do that.
Until you know who you are, anything can stop you. But once you know who you are, nothing can stop you. I want you to understand that you are blessed. That you are blessed to be a blessing. That there is somebody looking up to you. They're looking at you. Don't ever forget that. Because if you ever do, you're going to leave them without a model.
I've learned so much, and I've experienced a lot of interactions with people.
The practical approach, like you can't just sit down there. You have to walk up to an opportunity. Sometimes you have to grab the opportunity. Sometimes you have to fight for the opportunity. There's so much life lessons.
I think from today onwards, I'll stretch out and reach to higher levels.